This is NJN, the New Jersey Channel.
WNJN Montclair, transmitting from Montclair State.
Miguel Perez's column appears every Wednesday and Friday in The Record, North Jersey's daily intelligence report. The Record, proud supporter of NJN.
Next on Imagenes, a live call-in interview with New Jersey's new Commerce and Economic Development Commissioner, Gualberto Medina. Saludos. Welcome to Imagenes. I'm Miguel Perez. He is the first Hispanic to serve as the state's Commerce Commissioner and the highest-ranking Latino in the Whitman administration. But Gualberto Medina is also a lone ranger in an administration that, according to critics, has appointed too few Latinos. Yet Commissioner Medina is someone described as having a Latino agenda, constantly reaching out to organizations and community leaders regardless of their party affiliation. In the short time Gualberto Medina has been in office, he has earned much praise, even from Democrats. And tonight we get a chance to meet him, and you get a chance to talk to him as we speak to him live from Trenton, and as we make history on Imagenes in our first live call-in show in this program's 22-year history. The number to call is 1-800-238-4995. Commissioner, welcome to Imagenes. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
It's a pleasure having you here, sir.
Well, it's a pleasure being on your show today.
As the only Latino on the Whitman administration, on the cabinet, you do have a responsibility. Do you feel like the man on the hot seat?
No, I think that I have in the past been placed in positions that were very similar. I think that the expectation that the governor has of me, number one, is to be the best Commerce Commissioner that the state of New Jersey has ever had. Secondly, I think that the governor is looking at me to play a role in making sure that there is a process of inclusion of Hispanics and other minorities in the work, very important work, that the Commerce Department and the Whitman administration is going to be doing over the next several years.
Talking about that process of inclusion, some critics are already saying that you're the only one, or you're the only major appointment. Do you see more appointments of Latinos forthcoming?
Absolutely. I'm the only major appointment. I'm the only cabinet level appointment. And I think that we can anticipate in the very near future some sub-cabinet appointments of Hispanics which are very competent and capable, and who will make a major contribution in the work that the administration will be carrying out.
Commissioner, tell us about your plans for economic development in the state of New Jersey and how they will help the Latino community.
Well, ultimately, the goal of the Department of Commerce and Economic Development is to create jobs. That is the business that I'm in. And I'm going to accomplish that through a number of divisions that come under my department. First of all, it's the Division of International Trade. The director of that division is a Hispanic individual, so that's an example of an additional person that of Hispanic heritage who occupies a very important and key position in the state of New Jersey, Carlos Kearns. Last year, New Jersey firms exported $11.5 billion worth of products to countries abroad. We generated in excess of 300,000 jobs as a consequence of this export activity. Carlos and I are working very actively to expand New Jersey's exports abroad. We're particularly fortunate that both Carlos and I are Hispanic and bilingual, and we feel that we're going to be particularly effective in penetrating the Latin American market. Already in the several months that Carlos and I have been working together, we have engaged in very significant dialogues with Mexico and representatives of Bancomex of various states in Mexico to discuss how we can expand trade relations between Mexico and New Jersey. We feel that's going to bear a lot of fruit. Carlos is a seasoned professional who has been working in the international trade arena for many years, and in addition to his, I think, specific capacity to penetrate the Latin American market, Carlos is going to be very effective in terms of penetrating the markets in Europe and in the Pacific Rim. Another area that comes under my department that's very important is the division of small business, women-owned business, minority-owned businesses. Obviously, this is an area that's very important to the Hispanic population in the state of New Jersey. New Jersey's Hispanics are very entrepreneurial. So any effort that we can make to make it easier for these firms to contract with the state of New Jersey will benefit all minority and small businesses in the state. But I think Hispanics stand particularly to gain from this.
So you believe that trade with Latin America will enhance the business development in Hispanic communities in the state of New Jersey?
I think that New Jersey has a very unique resource. We've got a tremendous diversity in our population. We have a lot of Asians. We have obviously a lot of Hispanics. We've got Europeans who live here. In regards to the Hispanic population, I think that it's a resource that we're going to use very wisely. We feel that by having persons in the state of New Jersey of Hispanic origin, that we can put together trade delegations and missions that would be particularly effective. I think that Latin American business people will feel very comfortable, much more comfortable doing business in New Jersey because of the well-articulated infrastructure of Hispanic businesses and the Hispanic citizens that we have here.
Commissioner, we want to take a lot of calls on this program tonight, so let's start with the first one that came in from Brooklyn, believe it or not. Marvin from Brooklyn. Hello, Marvin.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Thank you. Governor.
Not yet, not yet. Commissioner of Commerce.
He's the Commissioner of Commerce. He's not the governor.
Yeah, Commissioner, what I would like to know is, does the governor, in connection with Workforce 2000, you may recall,
Yes.
have any plans for neighborhood revitalization in the Hispanic community insofar as industrial enterprise is concerned?
Well, as a matter of fact, neighborhood development comes partially under my department. I've got a division of economic development. Also, the Economic Development Authority comes under my department. What the Economic Development Authority does is it makes investments in neighborhoods as part of the work that it does. And we're going to be very aggressive in terms of our urban development agenda. New Jersey is a very interesting state because New Jersey and the District of Columbia are the only two jurisdictions in the country whose population is considered to be 100% by the Census Bureau. So we're a metropolitan, we're an urban state, and we plan to be very aggressive in terms of our urban development strategies in the state of New Jersey, particularly in neighborhoods that Hispanic and minority neighborhoods that really are in need of investment and redevelopment. So I can tell you very affirmatively, yes, we're going to be very aggressive players in that arena.
Commissioner, the next one comes from Angel, who's in Elizabeth. Hello, Angel.
Yes, good evening, future governor.
Angel, we've got a great governor right now, and Elizabeth is a really good town. I think that we're going to be doing some major and exciting projects in your city.
Okay, my question is in regard, I'm in the process, doing some research, in the process of trying to open a small business related to multimedia and software, computer software. My main question is, what do you recommend as far as for a small business is the best business plan as far as trying to get aid from the state?
Well, the first thing, advice that I'm going to give you, and Angel, I'm both a lawyer and a CPA, and as a matter of fact, in my prior 15 years of professional life, I spent most of my time providing management and technical assistance to small businesses. The first thing I got to tell you got to do is incorporate, because the corporate structure will protect your assets much more securely than any other form of organization. The second thing that you can look at the state for assistance with could be financing. The Economic Development Authority has a variety of very excellent programs to provide financing to small businesses. The third area that I can make a commitment to you that we're going to be very active in is using state procurement activity to give contracts to small and minority businesses in the state of New Jersey. I have transmitted regulations, set-aside regulations, that's going to require every department in the state of New Jersey to give 7% of its contracts to minority businesses. You, as a minority business who's selling a service that the state uses, could be in a position to take advantage of these procurement activities that we're generating. So my suggestion is, first of all, make sure you get incorporated. Secondly, you should probably visit a minority business development center or a small business development center to have them prepare a detailed business plan for you. And then the state can be ready to help you in the financing arena and also in the arena of procurement.
That's, Commissioner, an area that our community is not very aware of, the development of a business plan. A lot of small Hispanic businessmen don't know what a business plan is, and they basically cannot get started without one. And I understand that you've been going out to a lot of Hispanic organizations during the last couple of months, talking about what they can do to communicate better with their community about what needs to be done to get those businesses started. Tell us about that.
Well, I think the major thing is that New Jersey does have a lot of good programs, and what I've been discovering is that a lot of communities throughout the state aren't as familiar with these programs as they should be. I feel that it's incumbent upon me to go out to speak to these communities, to let them know what kinds of services are available. And not only am I going to be doing this, but we're going to be having all my directors, beginning with Carlos Kearns, who I think in particular I want to go into the Hispanic community, but all the directors in my department are going to be going out to different communities to let them know what kinds of services are available through the state of New Jersey. I've had the joy, I really enjoy being with small business groups, and I've been traveling throughout the state, speaking not just in the Hispanic community, but in the Asian and the Black community and the woman business community, and I've been meeting with chambers of commerce, because I think that we have to get out and bring the message to the citizens of the state regarding what services and programs the state of New Jersey has. And what people have to understand is that under the Whitman administration, the services that the state will be providing are going to be enhanced. So it's very important for Hispanics to be aware of what these programs are and to avail themselves of these programs, because we can make a major impact on the Hispanic community in the next couple of years.
The next call is from Morosco, who's in Perth Amboy. Morosco, adelante. Okay, Erasmo.
Okay, I'd like to ask you a question on the SID for the stores owners and, the business. And what will you be able to do for new factories come into a small town like Perth Amboy, which the taxes have already skyrocketed, and most of the people are moving out of town?
Obviously, that is a real serious problem. I'm glad you raised the question about taxes, because taxes are real disincentives for business investment. That's why the Whitman administration is taking this whole question of fiscal policy and taxes so seriously. We feel that if New Jersey is going to be competitive with the rest of the world, we have to make sure that businesses can operate effectively, efficiently, and profitably in the state of New Jersey. That's why we feel that one of the priorities for us over the next several years is creating a tax environment that is favorable to businesses and to individuals. So we are addressing that issue. We feel that the local governments have to become our partners in bringing down the tax burden that has been imposed on New Jersey businesses and individuals. So this is something that we will be attacking aggressively. The treasurer of New Jersey is going to be working with every municipality in the state that wants to, for us to send in consultants to help them develop cost-effective ways of running their local government. So we're going to be taking this issue very seriously. We're going to provide a tremendous amount of assistance and support to local governments, and we ourselves in the state of New Jersey will be controlling the growth of spending in the state.
Let's go to Camden. Gloria in Camden.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing? Hi, Gualberto, ¿cómo estamos?
Which Gloria is this?
Gloria Bonilla Santiago.
Gloria, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good.
First of all, I want to congratulate Imagenes for doing this show and for bringing you, number one. And number two, as you know, Camden it has a population of 87,000, and I'm very concerned about the Camden city, and I really want to congratulate this administration for making your appointment. I think they could not found a better person than you, Gualberto.
Gloria, I concur.
Yeah. Oh, I knew you would. I knew you would. But my question has to do with the fact that, as you know, Camden is a city of children, and as other similar cities, Camden has been considered, a city that is like in poverty and with a lot of problems. And, here I am trying to do something about the children of the city. I got Project LEAP. I'm working at the university. My concern is can we go beyond politics and bipartisan politics to do something about what's happening in Camden? Gualberto, number one. Number two, can we get the governor to look at Camden, number one, from a point of view that, we have 30% of the population, at least 34% are Latinos in the city. We have no power. We have no positions. We are in the worst conditions than ever. And, again, I'm one of those people that I happen to believe that we got to work with both parties to move forward. can we get, you know, your department and your office, since you are the only Latino, to be able to get this governor to go beyond party politics?
Well, I tell you, Gloria, the politics in Camden City and in Camden County, as you know, are very complicated. When we took office, one of the things that we were confronted with was a schism in the Democratic organization locally. And we were working furiously to do economic development projects in the city, and we were confronted with a situation where local Democrats were battling. So the political situation, and not just in Camden, but in any municipality or county, can really impede progress. And we feel, I concur with you, that we have to work very diligently, put politics aside, and try to address the complex problems of cities like Camden, New Jersey. And Camden obviously is a city, it's the 5th poorest city in the country. So it's a city that's going to present, I think, a challenge for everyone. But I think that we've got some plans, economic development plans for the city that are going to make a major impact in the next several years.
I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that. Let's go to Eleonora, who's in Patterson. Eleonora is no longer on the line, but one of the things that Gloria said that was interesting about Camden is that she was encouraging you to move into to Camden, the governor stepping into Camden, into local politics. Sometimes we have to separate city politics from state politics, and if there's something you and the governor can do, is in Trenton, not necessarily in Camden.
Yeah, we can't really intervene in local politics. We could encourage all the parties to work towards constructive solutions of problems, but it's not the role really of the governor or of state government to dictate political solutions to local municipalities, local government. But we feel that it's imperative for local governments in New Jersey to make sure that they don't allow their political differences to impede in the progress of their localities.
Okay, let's go to Sharon, who's in Burlington. Hello, Sharon.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Yes, my question is for Latinos Americans. My boyfriend is Latino American. He hardly speaks English, okay? But he's willing to learn. Now, however, for a year and a half, we've been through all kinds of state programs, and nobody yet has to enroll him into a full-time course where he could go and learn English.
Sharon, there's a lot of programs in community colleges. A lot of the local school systems teach English as a second language. There are a lot of programs that are available. You just have to seek them out. And one of the things that's very critical is for you to make sure that you find the program that's a quality program. And maybe you've been through programs that have not been. But there are a lot of programs available. In fact, one of the things that I did in my prior lifetime was I taught a bilingual GED program. So I know that these programs are available, and you, Sharon, you have to make sure you make an effort to find them and get your boyfriend enrolled, because knowing English in this society is something that's very critical. State government and local government, I think, needs to make an effort to make sure that even those people who do not speak English do not lose access to services. But it's also imperative and incumbent upon Hispanics and people who are coming from abroad to do everything they can to become fluent in English so that they can become part of the economic mainstream. But there are programs available, and I suggest that you look very carefully and find the good one for him.
Commissioner, there's also the misconception that Latinos don't want to learn English. And you, as someone who taught English, know that that's not true. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that is absolutely false. I think that Hispanics who come here are coming to this country largely for economic opportunity. This country is certainly one of the greatest countries in the history of the human race. And people come here because they want opportunity. It may be economic, it may be educational, it may be simply to enjoy the political freedoms we have in this country. And Hispanics who come here all wish to learn English. And most Hispanics who come here do very well in terms of learning English and becoming very positive, constructive citizens in our society. So I think that if anybody is belaboring under that illusion, they're very wrong. But I do want to say something now that we're speaking about language. There's a lot of time that is spent by politicians in some parts of the country trying to promote English-only laws. And to me, it seems that this is something that is so contrary to the direction that the world is taking. More and more, our economy is becoming a global economy. More and more, bilingualism, trilingualism is becoming such a critical asset for nations to compete. So I think that there's two ways we have to look at this. this country has to stop trying to spend so much energy and effort in extinguishing people's linguistic abilities and take advantage of this. This is a resource, it's a human resource that we have, and we have to take advantage of people's cultures and backgrounds and linguistic abilities. So I think it's a two-way thing. In my experience, all the Hispanics that I have known have made a very diligent effort to learn English because they understand that that's how you progress in this society.
Maria is in Inglewood. Maria, adelante. Hello, Maria. Maria in Inglewood. I think we lost that call.
Hello?
Hello, Maria. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead. You're on the air.
Okay. I'm in Inglewood, and I deal with a lot of Hispanics. I'm Spanish, Puerto Rican. And I do a lot of translating for a lot of different Hispanics, Colombian, Dominicans. And my concern, and the concern of a lot of the people that I do translate for, because I do a lot of translating, because most of them don't speak English, is they are worried about it too, the illegal aliens. They have come across points where they can't get a job, but yet know an illegal is working. They can't get help for something, but an illegal gets help. These are people that come here legally, got the green card, got all their papers, and they're having just as hard a time as we are that are from here, but yet they know the illegals come here, and they don't seem to have any problems.
Well, the whole situation with so-called illegal aliens is a real serious problem. One of the things that we have to keep in mind in this country is that this country has been built and has become a great country basically because of the immigrants that have come to this country. Most of the people in this country are immigrants. So we have to look at this issue of immigration, I think, with a different kind of perspective. Certainly people who come here who are not documented should make every effort possible to become documented. But I think, you know, this country also has, in my estimation, has an obligation to treat people with compassion. A lot of the people that are coming here that are so-called illegal aliens are escaping political persecution in their countries. A lot of them are escaping very dire economic circumstances in their countries. And a lot of them are coming here to look for opportunity. In terms of aliens or persons, immigrants in this country taking jobs from Americans, the reality is that most of the jobs that immigrants end up taking are jobs that most Americans don't want. So I think that this whole issue of immigrants is something that's a very interesting one in this country. I think that we have to make sure that when we talk about people who are migrating to this country, that we deal with this issue with a level of compassion and understanding, and maybe stop having so much prejudice about folks who are coming over here. Because the reality is that this country was built by immigrants, and we have to understand that immigrants will continue to make a major contribution to the economy of this country.
And we cannot afford to become prejudiced against our fellow Latinos just like other people were prejudiced against us.
Absolutely, and I think unfortunately what happens is that this whole issue of illegal immigrants is something that's greatly exaggerated, and really what the concern is immigrants, and usually the concern is with immigrants of color, and I think that is something that we as a nation, we're too great a nation to be so petty.
The next call is from Ramon, who's in Philadelphia. Ramon.
Yes?
You're on the air.
Okay, I'd like to know, there are some Hispanics in the state who speak English, but are there any programs that they can learn Spanish?
To learn Spanish, okay. Well, there's a lot of programs for people to learn Spanish. I won't name any of the specific companies that do it, but there are dozens and dozens of programs. I live in the Philadelphia area, so I know for a fact that there are dozens of programs that teach people who are interested in Spanish. And frankly, I think that one of the things that people can do for themselves to enhance their marketability is to learn a second language, especially people who are in college now. They will be very wise to enroll in some type of language course, because, as I said before, our economy is becoming more and more global, and the need to communicate with people from other countries is becoming more and more critical. So I think that your interest in this particular area is a very good interest, and there are many programs. You can probably find them in the yellow pages of your telephone book.
Next call is from Mohammed, who's in Violin. Adelante, Mohammed. You're on the air.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to know, I have a small engineering company. I have been in this country for 24 years. I graduated from Oklahoma University. And two Puerto Rican gentlemen work for me. They are very nice persons and good workers. and 2 Americans. And I wanted to know, am I considered as a minority?
Muhammad, first of all, let me say salam alaikum. Secondly, yes, you could be considered a minority under the various programs of the state and also of the federal government. So chances are that you probably are considered a minority, yes.
The next one is Everly from Irvington. Everly from Irvington. Everly, go ahead.
Commissioner Medina.
Yes.
I am speaking in behalf of the Asian Americans in New Jersey, and I am a member of the Asian American Pacific Heritage Council of New Jersey. The consensus right now among the circle of Asian Americans is that we are underrepresented and neglected in the Whitman administration in terms of input and participation. Firstly, I would like to ask what are the policies of Governor Whitman in terms of inviting or encouraging that participation, and the fact that there are no Asian Americans in the major cabinet position right now, when in fact America is looking to Asia for global trade, and yet no Asians are in her administration.
Commissioner, we
Yes.
only have a few seconds, so quick answer for...
Quick answer, my Director of Economic Development is an Asian. We are extremely interested in the Asian community. I visited with Asian business groups repeatedly. There are a number of other Asians that are working in the administration, and we're looking to expand that because we feel that you're absolutely correct. The Asian community in New Jersey is very entrepreneurial, and we feel that there's a tremendous amount of potential there for the expansion of jobs and economic growth.
Commissioner, it's been a pleasure having you on the program. We hope that we can do it again. We wish you good luck, and we feel proud of having a Latino like you up there in Trenton. Thank you very
Miguel.
much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. My name is Miguel Perez, and I'll see you next week on another edition of Imagenes. Hasta pronto.
Miguel Perez's column appears every Wednesday and Friday in The Record, North Jersey's daily intelligence report. The Record, proud supporter of NJN.